Let's be real. If you're in sales today, you know that the old playbook just doesn't work anymore, right? The techniques that were golden 5, maybe 10 years ago, they're totally falling flat. So today, we're going to decode the new rules for selling in a world that has completely, fundamentally changed. And, this quote from our source material just cuts right to the chase. It's not in your head. Selling is getting harder. Buyers are almost impossible to reach. Sales cycles are stretching out forever. The entire landscape has just shifted right under our feet. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually win when the game has changed so much? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We're going to give you a whole new way of thinking about sales that will help you not just get by, but actually thrive in this crazy new environment. Okay, first things first, we have to understand the battlefield. And the modern world is often described by this old military acronym that, honestly, it perfectly captures the chaos we're all feeling right now. Yep, welcome to the VUCA world. It's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And for us in sales, what that really means is that our buyers are totally overwhelmed. Their decision-making is basically paralyzed, and that nice, clean, linear sales process we used to count on, poof, it's gone. And this whole VUCA thing, it creates these very real, everyday headaches. I mean, think about it. Buyers are doing like 70% of their research online before you even get a chance to talk to them. And you're not selling to one person anymore. You're trying to convince a committee of like 7 to 10 people. Sound familiar? I thought so. All right, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. It's tough out there. So now let's get to the good part, the solution. And it all starts with this one really profound but incredibly simple shift in how we think about what we're actually doing when we sell. So let me ask you a really fundamental question. I want you to forget your product for a second. Forget the features, forget the price, all of it. What is the one thing, the one single trigger that causes anyone to buy anything? The answer is change. That's it. At its very core, you're not selling a piece of software. You're not selling a consulting service. You are selling a transformation. You're selling the journey from their current, maybe painful, state to a much better future state. You are a seller of change. And once you get that, it reframes your role completely, right? If a buying decision is actually a change management decision, then we're not just salespeople anymore. We're change agents. Our job is to be the guide, to help the customer through the messy, sometimes scary, process of leaving their comfort zone. And really, all change is driven by one of two super powerful emotions. People are either running away from a pain or they're running toward a gain. Away from a problem or toward an aspiration. That's it. Your entire job is to connect whatever you're selling directly to one of those two basic human drives. Okay, so if our job is to guide people through change, how in the world do we actually do it? Well, there's a playbook for that. It's all about systematically answering the questions your buyer is already asking themselves, whether they're saying them out loud or not. You've got to think of this as a journey, and your buyer has to pass through 5 gates. They start with, why should I even give you a second of my time? Why listen? If you get past that, they ask, okay, fine. Why should I care about what you're saying? Then, and this is the big one, why should I change at all? The way we do things is fine. Only after you conquer that do they even begin to ask, why should I choose you? And finally, why on earth should I do this now? Your job is to lead them through each gate one by one. But here's the kicker. Even if you nail all 5 of those whys, you can still hit a total brick wall. And that's because you're not just fighting against your competitors. You're fighting against these powerful, invisible psychological forces going on inside your buyer's head. The first, and honestly the biggest roadblock, is just inertia. The status quo is comfortable, Even a bad situation is at least a familiar situation. Change is risky, it's disruptive, it takes effort. We are literally hardwired to prefer stability. Next up is the fear of messing up. I mean, what if this new thing you're selling fails? What if it actually makes things worse? Buyers are terrified of the blame, the embarrassment, and the very real career consequences of making a bad call. And we're not just talking about the price tag here. Buyers are doing a mental calculation of all the costs. The cost in time, in effort, in training their whole team, in spending political capital internally. They're weighing all of that sacrifice against the shiny benefits you're promising. And finally, in a world with a million options and way too many stakeholders who have to sign off, buyers just get stuck. It's paralysis by analysis. It feels so much safer to just make no decision at all than to try and navigate the complexity of picking just one. So, how do we break through these massive roadblocks? Well, believe it or not, there's a formula for it. It's a classic framework from the world of change management that is, frankly, perfect for the world of modern selling. Here's how it works. The combined force of D, their dissatisfaction with how things are now, multiplied by V, the vision you create of a better future, and F, the clear first steps they can take to get there, all of that has to be greater than R, their natural resistance to change. And here's the crucial part. It's a multiplication formula. If D, V, or F is 0, the whole thing goes to 0, and resistance wins every single time. Phew, okay, we've covered a ton of ground here. The whole VUCA world, selling change, these psychological roadblocks. So let's pull it all together with a super simple, memorable mantra you can literally use every single day to navigate these new waters. Just think of it as your sales OAR. You need it to row the boat. First, you constantly optimize your process. Look at every step. What can be better? Second, you have to activate new skills to deal with this new reality. And finally, you always have to be willing to rethink your entire approach. This isn't a one-and-done fix. It's a constant commitment to getting better. So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. The next time you pick up the phone or write an email, I want you to ask yourself this question. Because in today's world, the people who are absolutely crushing it aren't the ones who sell features and benefits. They're the ones who can clearly and compellingly sell change.